Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the best podcast on Spotify. Where is that? It is... My name's Kai.
My name is Fraser.
And today we've got a couple of guests with us. We got Thomas.
Whoa, what?
We got Aidan.
Oh my god!
And this episode is basically a... last week. Is it last week by the time this comes out?
Maybe it was like 2 weeks ago.
Maybe 2 weeks ago. We had a bit of a problem. Quite a few problems. All within the space of about 24 hours. So we're going to talk about them today. And you're going to listen and you're going to enjoy. So, Fraser, take it away.
Okay, yeah, so one thing I do want to side mention as well is one of the questions last week that we didn't get to answer on the community episode was, will you get some more guests on the podcast? Specifically, maybe Tom and Aidan. Well, here we go. This is it. This is exactly the episode that you asked for. So there you go. That's that question answered.
All right, now they're here. They can leave. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming on for the first minute.
So as we mentioned on a previous podcast, me and Kai decided that we wanted to go to Thorpe Park, and we said that we wanted to go with some other people as well, and we got Tom and Aidan to come down with us. It was... What would you say that weekend was, guys? It was a good weekend, wasn't it?
I really enjoyed the roller coasters and all that.
It was very thrilling.
It was a great weekend.
It was beautiful weather.
My first experience of Thorpe Park.
Beautiful. It was beautiful weather. It was like the best day of our lives, I reckon. I could describe
They're fucking lying. We didn't even make it there. That's the bottom line. We didn't even make it. There were so many things that went wrong that weekend.
So let's start with the first thing, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll go with Aidan, because he had the first problem.
Yes, I had many problems. So I had to get a train from one side of the country to the other. First leg was completely fine, although I did find out that I had to get paper tickets rather than e-tickets. So that was a pain, but that went fine. Then when I got to Paddington, I got a little bit lost in the train station, couldn't figure out where I was. Turns out it was just signposted to go a different direction, and got on the tube and went to St Pancras. Once I got there and put the ticket through in there, got out, no problem, walked straight through down to where my platform was to get a train. My ticket didn't get accepted, and I was panicking. I was trying to use all the different ticket options. It just wouldn't let me through, so I was panicking.
I think we've all been in that situation where we've tried to put our tickets through and it's just not letting you in, and like there's a queue for the attendant. It's the worst feeling, ain't it?
I can see Aidan trying every single gate in my head. It looks hilarious. He goes to one, it doesn't go through. He goes to the next one. Next one.
Just before talking to someone, tries at least 7 different terminals.
I think there's only 7 in the station, so.
I went to the guy, showed him ticket, he let me through, and I got on the train, and as I got on the train, the door shut, and then the train was going, so I was quite lucky I got on the train then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my journeys.
That wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
You
at all.
got the light end of all of this, didn't you?
Yes, there were issues, but it was far fewer issues than it could have been.
And the plan was for Aidan to come down to Kai's house, and then me and Aidan were going to set off to go to see the gig. That was the original plan. Aidan wanted to drop off his laptop because he didn't want to take that and maybe get it bashed about by the people in the crowd. That's why it was going that way, and that was the original plan.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Well, Aidan opened up with, I had to get a train from the other side of the country. That being Bristol to Kai, not that far really. No, I'm from Manchester, going down to where Kai is in the southeast. I'm from the northwest, literally the other side of the country. Now, I'm a bit of a frugal bastard, I'm cheap. So I didn't get a train either. I thought, you know what, let's get a coach. A coach which is about 5 to 6 hours long, which was great at first. The coach was all good, no problems. Then I got into London. Now I was meant to get to Victoria Station for about 5 o'clock. So that way I could get the train over to Kai's house and then go to the gig. Oh no, go straight to the gig because I was going to put my stuff in the car. Turns out I got into London about an hour and a half late because London, I was just stuck in what should be a 10-minute drive for an hour on a coach. So I missed about 2 trains there. which is always a good bit of fun. I love being on a coach in London. Then I got into Victoria Station. I've never been to Victoria Station before, and I hate it. It's fucking awful. So
London is fucking awful.
So my
Shout
first
out to Victoria
experience,
Station.
my first experience here, I realise is one, my God, this is massive. What's going on? Where are my platforms? Secondly, I now realise London does not like e-tickets. It's paper tickets. Well, I've missed that train because that was last minute I was going to make that one. So that's the third train missed. Time to go collect my paper tickets. Hold on. It's rejecting me. Okay, sick. Right, I'm not getting this ticket.
Dear.
Right, time to go in the queue. Oh, what's that? There's 2 people in the queue for about 50 people queuing. Well, that's another train missed. So I finally get my tickets and I get in the train. At this point, it's about 8:30. The Kai's part started at 8 o'clock. And I'd get there for about 9:30.
So at this point, how
station-
many trains had you missed?
5 or 6.
I think there's 2 every hour, so yeah, you must have missed about 5.
So at this point, I had missed the gig, and I was like, well, that's a nightmare. So I just went straight to the house. It was about 9:30 when I finally got there.
It was.
I was
about
meant to
that,
be at the
wasn't
house
it?
for about 7 o'clock. So that's my first experience of being down there. Had a blast. It was a lot of fun. I'd do it again.
I've got a great thing, by the way, if I can just interrupt quick. Obviously, because we record this on our computers and whatever else, I've just had a little pop-up from my email saying, "Go compare. Your car insurance is about to renew." How perfect timing is that right now?
We
And we'll
can
talk
refer to
about
that
more of
later.
that in about 5 minutes or so. Stay tuned.
Oh, this is going to be juicy in a little bit. Do you know what? I didn't really have any problems. It was alright for me. I was working in London anyway. Just had to get down there. Ended up leaving work early. Got a 2:30 train. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I'm
little
so happy
conversation.
for you, Fraser.
Yeah,
you had a
Oh, it was a
seamless
bloody
experience.
nightmare. Absolutely hated it. Jesus. And then saw Kai before he went off to his gig. And
That's the worst part.
Oh yeah, no. Can't be having any of that. And I felt bad. I felt weird. I remember saying to you, I feel really weird staying in your house.
I felt weird just leaving you in my house. You know?
I was literally the only person in Kai's house. I had sole responsibility. I could have gone and set something on fire or something if I wanted to. Well, I didn't, obviously, but it just felt so strange saying bye to Kai and then being left in his house. But it was all because we were going to wait for Aidan and then go. And then obviously when Tom had these problems, it was a case of, oh wait, hold on a minute, this ain't going to happen. Well, the original plan was maybe stream, so let's just go ahead and stream. So I ended up streaming down at Kai's house, which went really well.
Aye.
And then there was Kai, who went off to his gig.
Hello, I went to a gig. That went really well, actually. Like I said last week, we had a lot of people coming up to us afterwards and saying, "Oh, you guys are the best all night," and whatever else. That was a good thing to hear. And that's a brief little mention of that because obviously we went over it last week. And I decided, all right, I want to get back home because I want to go. I want to go and hang out with these guys for a little bit, and that sounded like a good idea in my head. So I think it was the gig was finishing at about 11, and I was like, okay, I'll leave about 10, just before the final one finishes and whatever else, just so I can get back, I can put everything away, we can have a nice relaxing night, I can steal some of your pizza, so on, be great. No, my car died. I don't know why, my car died. I was the last person to leave this place.
After wanting to be one of the first.
After literally being the first person to leave, I was the last car in the car park. And literally, it got to the point where my car would just go... And it was nothing to do with the battery. Apparently my ECU froze or whatever. And if you don't know what an ECU is, basically it's the thing that records all your data all the time and whatever else for your car. And if you have a problem, you can plug something into that and it will tell you if anything's wrong. No, my thing froze. So I finally got the recovery guy out about 2 hours later. Originally they told me they're going to get there at 1:40 in the morning. And
yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I was
for it to
fuck
be
this.
that late, that was crazy.
The security guard came up to me as well and said, if you want, you can leave your car here. And I'm like, I've got all my equipment in there. I'm not leaving that here overnight.
Yeah, sod that.
How am I going to get home?
At this point, we were hungry at your house. We were like, oh, I wonder when Kai's coming back. Should we get some food? And then I sent Kai a Snapchat saying, we're going to get Domino's. What do you want? He didn't reply, so we're like, right, we're going to Domino's now.
Yeah, and then like when I did reply, it was like, I kept getting phone calls from you guys whilst I was like trying to get the like recovery guy. And, and like it kept like interrupting the call, and I was like, "Fuck off!" for a second, like in my head. But yeah, my car broke down right outside the venue, which was amazing. I called the guy up, and he was like, "Hello, this is Martin." I was like, "Oh my god, he sounds depressed. This is gonna be like the worst thing." And he was actually like one of the nicest guys I think I've ever met, like from a recovery vehicle. I'm saying this as if it's like my first time ever being in a recovery vehicle. It's like my 5th time because we've broken down in other cars before. But he was a lovely guy. We had a nice conversation about Brexit.
Oh wow!
And finally got home at, I think it was about what, 1?
It was about that time.
Yeah.
And he had the amazing idea of disconnecting my battery for the night, and I was like, "All right, I'm trusting you, Martin." In the morning, turned it back on. It worked. The car worked again. So we went to Weatherspoons in the morning.
Yeah, we weren't sure whether we wanted to go to Thorpe Park or anything, because we were looking at the weather throughout the whole week. We're like, yeah, it's going to be good. No, it's going to be bad. Yeah, it's actually going to be good. No, it's going to be bad. And then the night before, I think we checked as we were in our Domino's, we checked and it said it was going to be good. It was only just going to be like the evening thing for like maybe 2-3 hours. And we're like, yeah, sure, do you know what we can bear with it? We can do with that. We can just have dinner around about that time. We were doing this whilst we were watching Domino's and watching whilst we were eating Domino's.
I love watching
Friday night dinner.
Yes, watching Friday night dinner, which was really, really good. So yeah, we didn't know whether we wanted to do that or not, so we said, right, let's go to Spoons and we'll decide there. What did you have, guys, whilst you were there? I went with lunch, but you guys went with like a breakfast sort of thing.
Panini!
No, we went with lunches as well. Paninis. I want to say paninis at breakfast. You did have like what, chicken tikka or something though.
Yeah, I had a chili.
That's like evening.
That was breakfast. That was totally breakfast. That's something I have every morning.
That was great. I think that was my favourite part of the day, having breakfast.
Yay, I enjoy eating.
I'd say it went smoothly the whole time, but we did go on a table which had no number in it.
That is true.
Yeah. One thing I did say in the morning whilst Kai went out to test his car as well was I said, imagine if we just saw a flash of orange light stream through the window right now and then we just smelt smoke. But that didn't happen. The car obviously worked. That was fine, but you'll see where that comes in later on. Anyway, yeah, so we had our lunch and we wanted to go. We decided we wanted to go for the Friday night stuff. That's mainly what we wanted to go for. We'd all been to Thorpe Park before. It was just all of this Friday night stuff that, you know, isn't really there that often. And by not often, I mean once a year. Well. Yeah, it's a late night thing. So at this point...
we can do like some mazes. We're all
yeah.
happy.
Yeah. At this point, it was midday, so, you know, it's getting on. But, you know, the Friday night stuff goes into the night, so it didn't really matter too much. So we wanted to go, and we went to Tesco, didn't we, Kai?
Oh, yeah, we went to Tesco. And when we got to Tesco, it was pretty good, to be fair. I mean, we walked past, like, the entrance, and then you guys just saw this pick and mix thing or whatever. Yeah.
£1.50. £1.50 for a medium bowl.
You say the Tesco is pretty good. It's the highlight of the entire night.
Yeah, it was.
Literally children. Like, me and Kai were just standing there by the pick and mix, just watching you guys just having a field day, just picking out all...
You know what the worst thing is, Aidan? The worst thing is, I wish I bought one now.
Yeah. There you go. I like to rephrase children to bargain hunters, because that was a deal. What an absolute deal.
Me and Fraser know how to save money when there's money to be saved there. If there's a bargain, we're all in.
Exactly.
That's true.
And then not only that, we went to get some drinks as well. In the fridge, there was vanilla cokes for 67p.
Literally.
What an
So good.
absolute bargain.
So
it only cost
good.
like £4 or something because we came out of like a bottle of Oasis, 2 bottles of Coke, and a pack of pick and mix. It was on like £4 for basically an entire day's snacks.
But then we were also going for the 2-for-1 box, the Frosties thing. To
That's
get
true.
two
No.
tickets.
Originally, we were going to go
on
for like the
Thorpe Park
squares or
ticket.
whatever. Remember, we were going to go for like squares.
We were going to get
But they didn't
squares,
do it anymore, so it's Frosties.
And then we saw
wasn't it?
these Frosties little packs, and they were like £1 each, and we were like,
Literally.
£2 for 2 for 1. Here we go.
Even then, we were only there for the bargain of Thorpe Park. It was just an all-round bargain trip.
It was quite good.
Call us the coupon hunters.
Yeah.
So really,
That's what
we
it's all
we
about.
made a good choice. We had enough petrol to get there. I probably would have had to buy some on the way back, but that was fine. I made sure that I filled up my car the day before, on the day where my car did break down. So that was great. Aidan, you got a text from your dad?
So yeah, well, I actually got a text earlier, but I didn't reply to it until we were actually setting off the trip. And it was a text from my dad to say, you picked a great day for it, son, with a few raining umbrellas. Guess what I replied? It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Fine.
not fine.
Oh, foreshadowing.
So we actually went back to like my house for like about 15 minutes, was it? Just to
Yeah,
like
literally just
freshen
to
up,
drop
grab
off
anything
stuff.
we need.
Yeah.
We left. We put the stuff in my car, and I left the boot open.
You were legit
we, were
about to
about
go
to,
to...
we were about to leave with the boot open because I just completely forgot to close it.
The thing is, it's not even you went, oh crap, the boot's open.
No.
It's because I wanted an Android charger to charge my phone, so you were just going to go back in and get it, and you look back and saw the boot was
Yeah.
open. If I didn't want that charger, that would have been it.
We were like all of our
literally
stuff
could've
had been
drove
across the
off.
motorway and everything. Like, oh wait.
You just hear a... just
Do you guys hear that? Why does it sound like in the back?
Oh, Kai, your air conditioning is working perfectly this time.
Oh, it's a great
getting
breeze.
a massive leak, aren't we?
That was a very good start.
That was a great start, but we set off.
It was a
Tom,
spider.
Yeah, well, Fraser just said there's a spider next to his head. Now, I was like, I don't fuck with spiders, but next to his head, I can deal with that. That's perfectly fine. Turns out spiders know how to walk in directions and start going towards me.
just for like context of where we are, we're around the corner from my house at this point.
No, we
as
hadn't
well.
left yet. We were still
No,
outside.
we're around the corner.
We drove.
no, yeah, we were around the
drove
corner.
for
I
a
was
little
driving
bit.
and then
Yeah.
like I had to like pull up on the pavement or whatever for it.
It was as if when Kai pressed the accelerator, the spider then wanted to move in
Spider
your
also
direction.
accelerated.
So my instinct was to grab the box of Frosties and just try and kill the spider with it. But turns out you guys don't like killing spiders.
Yeah, it was innocent. I was
I
happy
give
with
you
it by my
credit.
head.
Fraser said, open a door. I'm going to grab it. I'm thinking, no, he said open a door, I'm going to get it out. I thought what he meant was, he's going to push it towards me so he can get the door. So I was like, fuck nah, you can keep it. I don't want it near me. Until finally, he just grabbed it with his hands. The balls in this man. Oh my god.
It was a
Picked it up
flimsy
and
one.
chugged out the window.
If it was like a thick one, I don't deal with thick spiders. I'd rather get a cup, a bit of paper, stick it under that. I don't mind dealing with spiders.
If it's dummy
but
thick, you don't like it.
yeah, but if it's thin like that, it was a large sized one, but it was all just thin. So, you know, it's easy
Yeah.
to just pick it up and throw it out like a ball of hair or something.
I hate that still because then it's all sprangly and springly and there's one of those words, but you know what I mean.
I like
It's
the
alive.
tone
The
of
main
that.
thing is it's alive. I didn't want to kill it. And if you did kill it, if you did whack it with that Frosties box, it would have dropped right down into my lap.
Yeah,
Or on
that's-
Tom's
So it would
head.
have been... Or on Tom's head.
I made sure it was away from me before I tried killing it.
So it would have just been easier in that scenario for me to throw it out. And that's exactly what happened.
When we got to Thorpe Park, we could have given the lady like a Frosty's box with a dead spider on it.
Or like crunched up in the corner, like the box is destroyed.
Sorry, I can't accept this.
But it wants to go on the swarm.
But we
Here's my ticket for the spider.
we started
team.
going, and no, the spider was our 2 for 1.
Yeah, fuck the voucher. It's just a spider.
Yeah. But we started going. I think we got to like the M20. Everything was going fine. It was like a big dark cloud in front of us. I was like, we picked a good time to get to London, didn't we? Welcome to London. And by this point, it started chucking it down. Or like, I think it was like light, but then it started getting heavy.
But our spirits were still high. We were singing as we were going along.
Yeah,
That's right. We were
having
singing
proper
Queens of
karaoke.
Stone Age song. How did it go? I can't remember.
The thing I want to do it, but I always do This Is Halloween when I go to do it.
Da, 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 da. No, it's not that.
You do. No,
That's
yeah,
this
no,
Halloween.
this is Halloween.
What does it go like? Aiden's got it.
Oh, Aidan has it.
That's it.
Yeah, I was
just
put
doing
in
that
charge
all
of
the
the
way along,
Yorks, and that was the
basically.
first song I had on, and we just kept repeating it
Yeah.
like, the whole time.
And then we had like Wonderwall come on as well. I think it was like
No, we didn't even have Wonderwall. It wasn't on the playlist.
Supernova. Was it Supernova?
It was
Supernova.
Supernova. It was Supernova, but we tried to put
Wonderwall into it.
yeah, Wonderwall into it.
And then we did that for like the next 4 or 5
Said
songs as well.
Maybe. And then like my window wiper, it's had a problem for a while, but it's never been bad. It goes up, it might flick across the window, and that's about it. Like a flick across like the passenger window.
It was just really funny to show how the car does not work.
No, and then like, my
I was
window doesn't
sat
go down
there.
either. By the way,
I just sat there and I just heard. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" I looked to my left, and just this window wiper is like slapping my window. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, it's pretty
gets to
short.
the point where
Basically,
this is
it
happening.
overwipes. It goes
Yeah.
off the edge.
it's a bit too high up, and it goes up too far.
It keeps the
That's
window clean
basically
though, on
it.
the outside.
It does, yeah.
And the passenger window too.
That's what I'm on about.
But you know, it's starting to go up, and like I'm like, it's all right. I've driven like through worse weather before. Keep going, it'll be fine. And so we kept going, and it wasn't like a bad issue at all at this point.
We could deal with it. It wasn't like life-threatening, was it?
We just went on our merry way.
Yeah.
And all was nice and calm for the rest of the day.
And then we saw a broken down coach.
This was a proper In-Betweeners moment. For those of you that have watched the In-Betweeners, you would know the scene where Jay leans out the window at people waiting at the bus stop and goes, "Bus wankers!" We basically did that. We didn't lean out the window, of course.
says
We're on a
we.
bloody
You say
motorway.
we, it was just
Fraser.
you.
All right. Not we then. Me. I then shouted out at this coach, not with the window down or anything, because
because the window doesn't go down. Fun fact.
But more just a case of the coach was broken down, so I went, "Oh, coach wankers!" And it was like, at this point, the whole trip was so in-betweenersy with like Kai's car not working properly, these little moments going on, you know, it just all...
I was ready to lose the door.
Luckily that didn't happen, but you know, at this point anything could have happened.
So
At this point, we were like,
yeah, so we would just keep on going on. Me and Fraser were in the back, and you, Tom, and pretty much the windscreen wiper just kept inching like more and more towards the side. And if it like went properly over, we would just all cheer like yay. So we're just encouraging it all to happen. And just be like,
it's like it was just a really bad lad's trip.
yeah, we just weren't thinking,
Oh,
we just didn't think, oh, this is not going to totally kill us later on, is it? Just cheering that the thing's about to break.
This is where hell starts to begin a lot. It's chucking it down with rain, remember. This is the worst like day weather-wise we've had, I think, in England this year. Or like since like this latter part of the year.
I'm pretty sure there was issues well across the country.
There
I
was,
sent a
like-
video from home where basically at the bottom of the road it completely flooded.
Yeah.
And there was this duck basically swimming in the road. that's how flooded it was. In different
Well,
parts
yeah,
of the
places got
country.
flooded.
that was
yeah.
up north.
Oh,
no, it was the
yeah.
Wetherspoons up in Stafford, wasn't it? It was completely flooded.
Yeah.
I don't know how that is now. I'm sure it's probably been sorted, but
Wasn't there a guy like
soon
outside
find
it
out.
riding in a canoe or something?
yeah, there was on like the street. But then like the window wiper, it's starting to get higher and higher up the window, and this is like when we're starting to think maybe we need to stop. We've just gone past the services. This is the bad part. We've literally just gone past the services, and it's still going up, and then suddenly you just hear boomf, and it just full on goes straight across the window. It goes off of the windscreen completely and gets stuck behind the wing mirror on the passenger window side.
Which we also learned stopped the entire wiper system. Even Kai's one stopped.
Yeah,
It was really funny at first. It did it, and I was like one of the first to notice it because I just hear next to my ear, and I look like, "Oh, guys, it's stuck." We all go, "Hey!" And then Kai looks forward and sees he can't see out the window. So we started panicking a little bit, and Fraser said that we could poke the window out, which we could. So I just stuck. The thing is, as I said earlier, the window doesn't work properly. It goes down about an inch, which I was able to get that out with my finger a little bit.
just
Then
for
it came
context,
back.
by the way, I am actually fixing the car at the moment to sell it on, so it'll be gone this week or like next week.
So if
I'm
you want to
fixing
buy the car,
window,
just
I'm
keep your eyes
fixing
peeled on
everything.
Gumtree.
I've got a new motor coming in the post for the window wipers, so this is like where we're getting to with this as well. Sorry.
But yeah, it got So I went to flick it out, and it was all good. Came back, flicked out again. Came back, but no, it didn't, because it's fucking stuck behind the window between the mirror now.
It's
proper gone, and because
stuck.
the window doesn't go down, that's it. We're fucked.
So this is the point where I was in the middle of overtaking a car at this point as well, and it's just the window wipers completely stop. It's chucking it down with rain. I can't see a fucking thing. I'm thinking, are we gonna crash? Like, this is like my first thing. I want to make sure that you three are safe, because I don't want to be in charge of killing you guys. That's for someone else to do, not me.
There was proper panic on you at this moment.
There was a lot of panic in my head, especially I think. Because
I think at that point we realised the severity of the situation as well, and we all kind of chimed down a bit okay, let's give Kai a moment just to think about this.
Oh, to make it better, my hazard lights don't work either.
Oh no.
So I'm using my blinker to try and get off, basically. I can see there's an exit coming up, and I'm like, right, I don't want to stop on the M25 because there's no hard shoulder. This is the M25, by the way. It's the busiest motorway in the entirety of the UK, I'm pretty sure. And it's the worst one as well. So I'm I want to get off as quickly as possible. I don't want to be stuck on here. I've got a little bit of vision, so I'm going to use it to my advantage. I'm like a blind person at this point as well. And we turned the window wipers off as well by this point because they're not working. The motor's burning up, which you can start smelling a burning smell coming through the air conditioning.
It's a very strong burning smell.
Yeah.
So I turned them off, and we just kept going. And I can see this exit coming up, and I'm like, we're going off this exit, and we're going straight onto whatever road it takes us to, and hoping. And this isn't what you're meant to do, by the way, in this situation. You're meant to get off to the side and stop as quickly as you can. Yeah. And but obviously, because my hazard lights aren't working, it puts all of us at a much bigger danger. So I'm like, if I can keep us straight, even if I have to stick my head out the window, I'll do it for the time being. Just so
this is also a point where it's just before the junction as well, so there wasn't even a proper stop at the side, was there?
No,
it was just these were all car lanes. There was no stopping.
A desk, not even a desk worth. You had maybe, I don't know, a meter or something like that. Not even that,
you couldn't
probably.
Pull over, basically.
You wouldn't. If you pull over, you're gonna get hit. That's a guarantee.
It would have been a very sudden stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I keep going, and there's this junction. It's thank God there's a junction. We can come off here, and it takes us onto a roundabout. Thankfully the lights are green because we're still going, and we can't even see the lights either. But I keep going, and then it takes us onto this little roundabout, like I said. And I see at this very last second in the corner of my eye, there's a little lay-by in this roundabout, and I literally just force stop the car, and we're sorted. So I get out of the car. I thought, okay, maybe we can fix it. I get out of the car whilst it's chucking it down as well. Push the window wiper back down to where it should be. It just stopped working completely.
I think you managed to get it going once,
yeah,
but then the left one was completely broken, and the one that was on the driver's side went up, got jammed underneath that wiper, and then it was basically, at that point, there was no point trying.
So we decided to do the sensible thing and call breakdown again for the second time in 24 hours. And,
less than 24 hours, really.
It was less than that. I think it was about
literally
16
probably
hours.
15
probably.
hours, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought by this point, right, that's enough of this car. I'm going to fix it up, sell it on, someone else's problem from now on. So if you have this car, I'm sorry. But obviously, the app as well for breakdown cover keeps crashing. Finally get through to it though, and a lady's she calls me up and's like, "Oh, we're sending someone out. They might be there. They should be there within the next hour or so, or hour and a half or so." And it's
I think it took about an hour and a half as well, didn't it?
It did. Yeah. We ended up live streaming, I'm pretty sure, didn't we?
We did, yeah. Whilst Kai was doing the sensible things of call and breakdown, we were playing noughts and crosses on the windows because they had all properly steamed up.
Heavily.
There was no airflow or anything. We had the windows slightly down, but it really steamed up on the inside. So we were playing noughts and crosses on all windows. Even the one that was on the roof, the sunroof, we were playing noughts and crosses there as well. And then probably one of the funniest moments happened next as well, where the coach that we saw earlier and that I'd shouted coach wankers
the one
to,
that was broken down.
The one that was broken down, then drove past us whilst we were broken down.
You can't make it up. That's incredible.
I'm sure every single person there was like, Kyle Wanker.
Literally, we were laughing at for like good 5-10 minutes. That's incredible.
We also put like the In-Betweeners Thorpe Park episode on as well,
Yeah.
just to like watch
It had
that
to be
whilst
done.
waiting.
It had to be. I mean, it'd be wrong if we didn't.
It's the most Thorpe
oh
Park
my
experience we
God.
got for the rest of the day.
So
Pretty much.
yeah, I think that was like the big highlight of it, wasn't it? And then like the recovery guy came finally just after we finished live streaming, and he said, like, I got out of the car, spoke to him for a second. He was like, "Yeah, it's not even worth trying to fix this," and he was like, "Let's get you home." So we didn't even make it to Thorpe Park. We were half hour away.
No.
We were so
So,
close.
Yeah. So then, like I said, the guy literally said to us, "Right, out the car." So we all gathered on the side, like, was it the left-hand side of the car? And
Yeah.
and then we just pretty much took a selfie, like.
Oh wait, no! I had to reverse the car, didn't I? Whilst it was all steamed up as well.
You had to reverse the car for it.
I need you to get. I need to get in front of you so I can get your car in. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, how am I going to get back?
I think I ended up turning around and just looking out the back, guiding you back, like saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can go more right." You
Yeah.
can, you know,
Like
stuff
with
at
the
this
limited
point.
vision of these steamed up windows that we have.
Yeah.
In that like 5 seconds the car was on again, my God, the motor's burnt up so much. It was so
Pretty
strong.
much, yeah.
I think that might have been
smell.
like the excess burning smell though, like in there already coming out, because it was all right
Yeah.
roughly when we
Yeah.
got back.
Possibly. Yeah. So the guy in the recovery, like, literally just out in the roundabout, just blocking all the traffic while Kai backed up. And then afterwards, we took a selfie from it. The guy put the car onto the back of the recovery van, and then he told us to get into the back of his recovery afterwards. And as we were getting in, we just had this dog just barking at us.
Just harassing us.
It was a lovely dog.
And the guy literally said, like, "Oh, don't worry, he's not going to hurt you. We can't get from there." But it's like just barking, just looking at us. And then as soon as the guy came into the van, completely silent, just happy.
Nice dog, that.
It was
Very
a lovely
nice dog.
He was
It was a
2
lovely.
years
very
old,
nice
called Jake, crossed with Jack Russell and something else.
Right.
Really lovely
I
dog.
don't like how you remember this so
His
much.
name was Jake.
He was a nice dog.
I remember it. It was like a Jack Russell, and it was an unknown breed as well. That he
was
said,
it.
and that's why he called Jake, because it's like Jack and just something
Jake
else.
Russell.
Yeah, Jake Russell. So yeah, we got in, nice car, and then as he was driving, he was telling us about the jobs that he's doing, and he literally said that he recovered a van earlier, which someone at the wheel of this van just nodded off and just crashed into like a roundabout or something. And he said, "I'll literally
Yeah.
go and take you to where it is." So he pulled into like the services where like the recovery is like sort of warehouses, like where they keep all the sort of write-offs and stuff. And we literally see this Volkswagen van, and the front of it was just completely smashed. It's like you would not be able to drive that thing anymore.
Good laugh, isn't it?
It was a good laugh, just
That could have been us.
literally.
That would have been us if we didn't get off.
Yeah.
Kai did a very good job with his smooth exit, so well done, Kai.
Well
you did a
done.
good job.
And now I'm buying a new car this week.
Yay!
And this one's just fuck it. I'd be happy just to throw it in the river, to be honest. I'm not going to do that because we like the environment here.
Save the turtles.
But
Say fuck 'em.
we got home, didn't we? We got home, and then we went
We
to
did.
Spoons for a little bit for the evening. Had a right laugh, and I think that was a
Trying to
nice
get
way
into
to end the
parties.
day, wasn't it? Yeah, there was like a little party down like down the
Dancing
road.
on a wall to try and get inside this party.
and like shining our lights up at them and
Yeah,
everything.
just to gather all the attention from them, just to see that we're dancing with them. And did you say like one person just took notice, but they didn't want to say to them or something?
Yeah.
It was just
I thought someone looked down.
I filmed
but-
it and put it on my Instagram story if you want to take a look at that, obviously. It's on like one of the highlights. I think it's the Heart 2
Oh, you
one.
highlighted it. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Got to highlight these good memories of when we almost died.
Oh hell yeah!
What we did instead of dying, had a little party on a wall.
On a wall by a beach.
Beats Thorpe Park, if you ask me.
Oh, I think if we went to Thorpe Park, we wouldn't have had any of these memories, you know.
I don't think it would have been as good, yeah.
No,
But then,
I
like,
would say, like,
the best thing is, obviously, the next day, we're meant to be using this car to get up to London, aren't we?
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
this is when I got annoyed.
go on, Tom. Take it
Well,
away.
I'm just as we've already gone over, I'm a cheap man. I like to save money. So I was relying on the car here to not have to spend much money. So at this point, to get into London, I had to buy a return ticket to get to London, to then come back to Kai's, then the next day buy a ticket into London to get the coach back home. So I was spending so much money already at this point. And I ended up getting off. I hate it. I spent like £70 on travel that weekend.
Yeah, what's
more than
worse? What's
No, yeah, it
worse
would've
is
been.
that going to London.
No, it would have been like 120 quid or something when I was meant to spend like £20 in total.
Yeah.
So we got a train in the end, which even then things still went wrong because of the weather last night. Train lines were like shut down and whatnot, weren't they?
So we had
Yeah.
a long way round.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
As in the long way, the long way, as in around the coast of England.
Basically, if you don't know, the train that comes down to the southeast is one that goes towards Ramsgate from like St Pancras or Victoria, and around, I think it was around that sort of like line from in between St Pancras and I think it was like Gillingham or something like that. The whole line was just shut. So you basically have to get on the train and go all the way round, which takes you towards Ramsgate, Margate, Dover, Folkestone.
I was going to say we ended up going to
Ashford.
Dover.
It takes you all
And
the way
Sandwich.
round. And Sandwich.
And Sandwich.
Yeah, sandwich.
And it ends up taking 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. Or 2.5 hours instead of like an hour. Not even that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
It was a good time on the train, though.
it was quite good.
Yeah.
We were meant to have like Amy with us as well. Amy Lee 33. She was meant to come down, but her whole like travel was disrupted because of floods on the line. So
Naturally.
that was great.
But yeah, while we're traveling down the train for like this 2 hours, we're trying to think of stuff to do. So, what was it, like, Kai, you were like, originally just like not saying anything and just doing stuff with your arms. So then that led to like
Yeah.
just playing charades on the train. I think it was like based around like movies and stuff. So like you started off first, and then Tom got the first one like you were doing, and then I got what Tom had, and then Kai got what I was doing, and that it pretty much went in this vicious triangle of just us getting it. And
I was horrible at it.
you were terrible at the charades. You couldn't get anything from it. Well, you got
We
one or
ended up
two.
giving you a
Yeah.
pity round. No, we gave
Yeah.
him a pity round where you could just
Yeah.
have a turn.
And
And no one got it.
no one knew.
No, no one
film
knew.
I did get it though.
Just
I got it. I got the answer.
You got it,
No, you did.
but then
I
everyone
just
was like, "What
guessed.
film's that?" And I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!"
I didn't even know it was a film. I just said the words.
Yeah.
Literally, because he was pointing up, so Kai eventually just went up.
Yeah.
Up.
Stupid.
But I mean, after that, we finally got there. We messaged Amy. She says that she can't make it. Messaged Elodie. We're meant to be meeting Elodie in London as well. We were going to go ice
For those of you
skating
who
and
don't know,
stuff.
Elodie is Wilbur's editor, Wilbur's editor.
Yeah, and so like we're meeting up with her as well because obviously she lives in London. So we're like, okay, we'll invite her out for the day. And like at this point, I think she was still working on one of Wilbur's videos. So we were like, okay, Pokemon Center's out. We're gonna go to the Pokemon Center, and that's in like Westfield or whatever. It's a pop-up shop for about a month or something like that. I think it ends in like 2 weeks from today. And so we get there, and we're like, okay, we'll look at the map. We'll look at the map to see where it is. It might be on the map. It's on the map. So I'm like, all right, it's this way.
Kai don't know how to
Not
read
that
maps.
way.
Turns out he's
No.
just useless.
It just went in an entirely different direction than what it was.
So we were just looking at these help terminals. They've got these nice little touchscreen things where you can search for what you want on there.
Nice. It was an absolute terrible experience we had on it. It didn't work at all.
It was nice after you had to wait like 5 seconds for each letter you put in to come up on the screen. So it took a hell of a lot longer than it probably
It's the
could
thought
have.
that counts behind it.
It is
and
the
even-
thought that counts.
And even if you wanted to press the letter that you want, it didn't register. Like, if you pressed P, it would, like, register an O instead of whatever was above or below
But
it.
we ended up just using the physical map in the end.
Yeah.
And we got there.
Even that didn't help us though originally, because that's what we
No,
looked
yes,
at
it did.
first.
That was a
Yeah,
you problem.
We
that
got
was the
there
you problem.
when we
First, though.
completely cut Kai out of the equation. To only find the queue closed 3 hours earlier from where it
At
was
this
so
point,
busy.
It was only like 5 p.m. and
Yeah.
the store closes at like 8 p.m. So the queue closed like 6 hours before Pokemon Center even closes. And there was a queue for the queue, which was also closed.
Yeah.
Mental.
And then there was another queue
my
for the
God.
queue.
I mean, I think the worst thing would have been like if we got in the queue, didn't want anything. What would we done then? Would have wasted like
Literally.
6 hours or whatever.
Got home.
I would have
can't
pity
believe
bought
it's so
something
busy.
because of it.
What was it? Like, the security guard, like, even at one point, like, we were near the queue, and he was just like, are you part of the queue? So we could have easily slipped in, but we
Yeah.
did the
It
right
would
thing and
not
just
have
said,
been worth it
It
though.
would have taken us
wouldn't have
about
been
an
worth
hour
it,
probably
no.
by that point.
Yeah.
So we just decided, right, it's the afternoon. We well, me and Aidan are going to be heading home that evening. Let's go grab some food. So we went to TGI Fridays. Oh, we could
Fridays!
Went to TGI Fridays.
The one in Covent Garden, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice area.
Lovely.
TGI's never goes wrong.
Of course, TGI's is fantastic. Met with
Shout
Elodie
out
there.
TGI's.
Oh, no, we have to tell this story. We have to tell this story.
Oh, go for it.
I messaged her saying, like, okay, we're at this one. And she was like, okay, cool, I'll be there in a minute. And like, she's like, can you share your location just so I can see where you are? So we're like, all right, yeah, sure, we'll do that. Share my location on Messenger, and I kind of like look up, and I just see what I think is her walk straight past the restaurant, and like I message her again saying like, I think you just walked past us. I think like I confirmed it with you like 3 as well, saying like, was that her? Do you think that was her?
She's got quite a distinct look to her, so she's quite easy to spot.
It was definitely her. And like I'm looking at this map and I'm seeing her keep going down, and like she's getting to like Embankment or whatever now, which is like about a 10-minute walk down the road. And like I decided I'm gonna call her up, and she says, I'm down by Embankment. And I'm like, yeah, you walked past us about 10 minutes ago. I messaged you. And she finally got there. It was great. We had a lovely waitress called Sophie. I think she tried to make Thomas jump, and she did.
She tried. Yeah, she did. Yeah. She bloody did. Just came up behind me and went, ooh. I was like, what? Fuck you.
I loved her. She was great.
She's lucky my 8-year-old karate me didn't come back out and back and instinct.
So shout out to Sophie if you're listening.
Yeah, you're lucky. I did like 2 lessons. I'm vicious.
Anyway, that was nice. Had lovely meals, and then me and Aidan had to go home. We ended up playing Simpsons Hit and Run on the train. That was a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then Kai and Thomas went with Elodie to the Excel. And do you want to briefly cover what happened there?
She suggested go to the Excel because of the like Comic-Con like after party and stuff. So we're like, yeah, we can do that. We've got all night. So we joined him. It was all good. It really went well, to be fair. First,
a lovely guy called Calvin.
Yeah. we sort of walked up to a group of people. Elodie's like, hey, have you got like, what was it? She wanted like cups or something, didn't she, for alcohol? For a drink. So it's like, oh, have you got any cups you can use? And they're like, nah.
We got these buckets though.
Yeah, and they just gave us a bucket with mixed alcohol in it. We didn't really know what was in any of them, and they just gave us straws. And we just started drinking out of buckets on the floor of this new group of people.
And then they all left as well.
Yeah, then they left, and we just had like 3 buckets of alcohol left on us and some bottles left over. And then this one fella stayed along. He was nice to chat to. It was all good. It was all going well, nice, wasn't it? It was a nice evening. We were there for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then we went, we need a toilet. We sat outside. So we go over like around the corner. And Kai does his business.
No, you tried to do yours first.
Yeah, but you were staring at me, so I was like, fuck you can go. So you went, and I was just walking about, and these 2 blokes started walking up, and I went, these are gods. So I went up behind Kai, I was like, got some people coming up. And
they came up to you though, didn't they, first?
Yeah, they came up to me and went, you're pissing, aren't you? And I was like, nah, because I wasn't. And then he just went, get off, leave. Or you being polite. They were not happy. They were like, you said they were like kidding about when we're leaving. They weren't.
They were a great like laugh though. It was like they were it was just weird how they were following us everywhere. You know? Yeah,
they told us to leave, so we went to the station with Elodie. We lost the other guy.
Moral of that story is don't pee.
Yeah.
Great.
I still need this pee.
I mean, we finally got back to Elodie's house as well. Like, we ended up staying there because we missed our last train back. So Tom actually had to spend more money the next day to get down to my house to get his bag, to then come back to London.
That's buy another return.
Which cost like, what, 30 quid?
Yeah.
So that was fun. And I think...
We got to watch a movie and stuff.
Yeah, we watched Reservoir Dogs, was it?
Yeah, except Elodie kept falling asleep like every 5 minutes.
That was impressive though. That was really impressive. It was like, she was like full on conversation the next minute, like...
You say next minute, in the next 5 seconds, she's gone. And she's not,
it's not like it's simple, really like you tap,
it's not like just a tap, you go, ooh. I tapped her in the arm like 10 times until she finally went, oh yeah, I'm awake. She was proper out. She was snoring and whatnot, like, she was out, she was gone.
Overall, I think that was a lovely weekend. I think we made a good memory from it. We've made a nice 45-minute podcast episode out of it.
Yeah, Thorpe Park gone wrong, weekend gone right.
I think we had a nice little weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, I'd say it was one of the better meetups, to be honest.
It was a memorable one, that's for sure.
You know, I can't wait for it.
What's
Go on.
that?
when we come down for Hyde Park again.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
At least this time, though, I'm not going to be driving. We're only going to get in the train
Well, I
and
hope-
tube, and we're going to stay somewhere instead.
Which would be a hell of a lot easier.
Sounds
So
like a
that's gonna be
fantastic
amazing.
idea.
Maybe.
So give us about Give us about 4 or 5 weeks. You'll hear another episode about hell.
And then
Thanks for
tune in
listening.
to London Gone Wrong.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for
Hooray.
listening. We appreciate it a lot. Be sure to check out our Twitters at Kai Ross-Best, at IvexHD, at Thomas Be Filming, at Lego Racer 97, and also our actual Twitter as well, which is at Stuck in a Podcast. Obviously, we do this every Wednesday, so stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, Aidan. Thanks, Tom, for coming along for this one.
It was a pleasure.
Great, two opposites.
Right, fine. That's it. You're not coming back. Bye, Thomas.
Let us know if you've had any hell stories as well on our Twitter. Also, like I said, let us know anything else you want to see us do on this podcast on Twitter as well. We'd love to hear your ideas. Let us know what you thought of this episode as well. Anything else, guys?
No, I think we're all good. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode of How I'm Stuck in a Podcast. Don't crash your car, bitch.
Yeah, bitch.